Hello and welcome to tonight's SBC News. Nurses from different health departments and midwives came together this morning to discuss and provide a new strategic plan for nursing practices. This was in a conference held at the Savoy Hotel on the occasion of International Nurses Day. The symposium was an opportunity for them to share ideas on the best practices that can be adopted. Addressing the participants, the Health Minister, Peggy Vidot, pointed out that during the COVID pandemic, the world, including Seychelles, had seen nurses at the forefront of the battle against disease. She called out to nurses to become part of an effective workforce to bring about transformation within the health system.
Nurses as a workforce need to show that we have the ability, we have the knowledge, we have the expertise to take on leadership in health. To address this issue, our workforce need to demonstrate efficiency, effectiveness in whatever we do. We function as nurses in a variety of settings and therefore occupy a special position as the interface between the community and the health system. Nurses are therefore well placed to have first-hand knowledge of how health policies impact on individuals, on families, and on communities. They also understand the complexities of implementing health programs and the challenges faced in providing cost-effective health services and influence health policies.
The Seychelles Pension Fund says that its audited financial statements and annual report for 2021 confirm needs for reform. The report shows an increase in active members and in total beneficiaries compared to a decrease in employers. The chairman of the Seychelles Pension Fund, Marc Poirot, presented the report to the Minister of Finance, National Planning and Trade, Nadi Hassan, during a short ceremony at the Ministry of Finance this morning. This was in the presence of the fund's Chief Executive Officer, Nisreen Abdul Majid, and her management team. This is in accordance with the Funds Act. The report will also be submitted to the National Assembly. The ceremony was followed by a presentation on the report by Ms. Abdul Majid and a press conference.
In terms of contributions, we have an increase in the amount of contribution that we've collected. So the increase is 1.5%. Okay, we've collected about 467 million. And in terms of when we categorize in terms of mandatory contribution and voluntary, we have an increase of 11% and 0.7% in mandatory contributions. In terms of pension payouts and the benefits, we can see there's an increase of 15% compared to the 2020 figure. So we've paid a total of 481 million as opposed to 2020, which was 420 million. The members' fund has grown by 1.3%. So as of December 2021, it is 1.74 billion. The interest credited to members for 2021 in terms of mandatory contribution is 2.42%, and for the voluntary is 5%, and the total for 2021 is 37 million. So in terms of when we compare what we are paying and what we are collecting, contributions and pensions, it is clearly seen that there is a deficit for the first time in 2021, 14 million. Compared to the surplus in 2020, which was 40 million. However, this deficit is the total contributions, which includes mandatory and voluntary when we compare with the total benefit. However, When we use the actuarial method of calculating, the deficit is 98 million, meaning we account only for the mandatory contributions, and we also account for the admin cost and the pension benefits that we paid. So altogether, it's 98 million for 2021.
Several road resurfacing projects and asphalting works on Mahé will be delayed now that the asphalt plant at Providence is not operational. The CEO of the Seychelles Land Transport Agency, SLTA, Parenda Herath, says that those projects may resume within the next month. The agency is awaiting the arrival of a spare part for the plant.
We have a small fault with one of our components of the asphalt plant, and this happened about 2 weeks ago, and we have already ordered the necessary part, and we expect to receive this the part in a couple of weeks' time. And there'll be some more maintenance work that we need to do, and we expect to restart our work program maybe in 3 to 4 weeks' time, hopefully. We have noticed that some motorists are speeding along some of the roads that we are working on. Just to give an example, for example, from Woshkaima to Providence. This is an ongoing project, and we would like to ask all motorists to take necessary precautions and ensure that they do not speed along this road and drive carefully.
The new resident representative for the World Health Organization to Seychelles, Dr. Rex Mpazanje, presented his credentials to the Minister for Health, Peg Vidot, yesterday. Minister Vidot congratulated him on his new role and expressed her anticipation for the continuity of the good collaboration that exists between Seychelles and WHO. The minister also thanked the WHO for the support extended to Seychelles, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Mpazanje has commended the government in managing the COVID-19 pandemic, in particular with the vaccination campaign. The WHO representative stated that it will continue to work that his predecessors have started, and that the Ministry of Health can count on his full support. The Seventh-day Adventist Church in Seychelles is having its first convention. This is in collaboration with the Adventist Layman Services and Industries for Southern Africa and the Indian Ocean Division, ASSI. This is being held at the Savoy Hotel at Beauvallon. ASSI is a group of entrepreneurs which not only spread the word of God, but also help communities around the world through charitable gestures. It's the first time that the convention is being held in Seychelles, and 75 members are attending. President Weval Ramkalawan addressed the group, and they expressed their appreciation. Eugene Munsami, the vice president of ASSI for this region, says that while churches concentrate on the spiritual angle, ASSI was formed with the sole purpose of uplifting communities.
Business is a part of every church, every walk of life. And so all the business people in the church have got together. And we're talking about the early 1800s in North America. This association, ASI, was formed. In the world, people think in silos. I think for me and my family, and you think for you and your family, or your particular religious persuasion. The ASI say, let's all put our resources in one pool, and we choose a project in a particular country. For example, 2018, I personally came to the Seychelles and launched this organization. And we just here a few years later to have the full international convention in the Seychelles. And would you believe, for your listening audience, 3 of the projects have been identified. But the main project is going to the Seychelles. So the funding raised normally at such a convention, the proceeds would remain in the Seychelles for a deserving project. The local organizing committee are deciding on the details of that.
And it's with this that we end this news summary. Good evening.